Yes, folks. It's actually true that this is true. Okay, folks. Don't shoot the messenger. But there's certain things in this world that you're just either born. God has either given you the task, the assignment to do that, or not. And it just seems to me that there's people. Wow, that disappeared quick, didn't it? There's people that think that they can change God's laws, and that's really not the case, folks. Okay? There's supposed to be a Capitol building behind me, but I don't see it, do you? Uh-oh. You're either born with the capability of being president or you're not, folks, okay? And I warned some of the people that were running back in 2024 that they did not have God's blessing to take that office ever. Did they listen to me? No. Did they obey me? No, they did not. Okay? And the Abrahamic covenant does require obedience. To who? The God of Abraham, which is right here, folks. Okay, I'm not going anywhere. There's only one way to heaven. Okay? And there's only one path to obedience for the Abrahamic covenant, folks. Okay, where did that Capitol building go? That's just so weird. Anyways, yes, it does require obedience. It requires obedience to what I say. And if I already told you, if you're already born knowing that you couldn't do that job, but you still did everything you could to try to rebel against God, what do you think is going to happen to you? Sorry. I mean, that's what it is, folks. Okay? I'm not here to give all this mercy that's undeserved. At this point, it's complete justice. Some people think that justice is cruel, but I'm not cruel. Okay? I have a set. I mean, there's certain rules that you got to follow, and you know what? If my age, if my sex bothers you that much, then you don't get a blessing. Okay? If you can't be obedient to me, the one who holds the covenant, the one who made the covenant in the first place, what does that make you? Seriously, what does that say about you? What does that say? And it's one man to one woman, folks. Okay? I've had too many people on demonic assignment. There it is. Well, it's partly there. Top's gone. Whoops. Whoops. You know, I mean, hey, don't do that. If you're that, yeah, I'm not giving my blessings to people who blatantly disregard what I have to say and then try to like sacrifice me on top of that. No, that ain't, or anybody in my household. Okay? If you try to do that, guess what? Justice is coming to put the curse of the Lord upon you. Because we're not doing that shit no more, folks. Okay? I mean, I think it just seems to me that the goal was to try to piss me off, but you didn't just piss me off, you pissed God off. Okay? And that's not gonna, that's just not acceptable. Okay? You know, hey, there's a certain pattern that all these presidents have, and you have to have that, you have to belong to the group of people that have those same characteristics, okay? And it's not the same for everybody. Everybody's different, okay? But there is a pattern of who gets elected, who gets selected, folks. So they're not, listen, yeah, they're not, I mean, technically they're kind of elected, but, you know, you got God. You know, and I'm not sharing my glory with anybody, folks. Okay? It's pretty sad I had to come to this. But, you know, I'm going to take care of my immediate family first. That's who's the most important. And that should be for anybody. Okay? When you don't obey me, you get yourself in trouble. No, you can't. Why would you want something that's not yours in the first place? I never understood that about people, about humanity in general, especially that cursed piece of shit Cain. No. We're not going to be bringing any of that crap to God's kingdom, folks. Okay? We're just not. Okay? You can't expect good things to happen when you disobey God like that, and so blatantly and so full of hatred too. No, that ain't gonna work. No. And you know what, the rantings that I have on my Facebooking town, well, that's the seeds that you people planted against me. So what? I'm just giving you what you put out, and that shouldn't be, you know, and especially when it comes to God, folks, you get what you put out. So if you put out crap, if you put out attacks, what do you think is going to come back to you? Okay? And yeah, see, this goes up to the highest office, worldly office, because I had dreams about them attacking me too. Okay? It's not just one side, folks. It's just, ugh. Yeah. And I'm not, whoever expects me to put up with that, no. I'm not putting up with any of that crap. No. Okay? I have a set of rules. Don't touch my anointed. And it goes for anybody in my household. Okay? And yeah, I don't appreciate these people. There's been so much theft. And it hasn't just been Texas too, folks. It's been all over. It really has. And I'm not into it, folks. Okay? That's not how God operates, okay? Every man has their rib that they are to find, okay? And they're to love them, because that's your wife, man. That's your wife, okay? Your rib is your wife. And I only make one for each man, okay? If that makes you call me a commie, so be it. Okay, Noah was happy with his commie share, so I'm expecting all you men to be the same way, okay? Because there's no other way forward at this point, okay? No, the Holy Bible is not a book of fairy tales, okay? It has been mistranslated over the years. I'm not gonna, you know, deny that, because I don't like the King James Version. Actually, I use the Orthodox version, folks. Okay. And no, I don't. No, you cannot have what belongs to me. You cannot have what belongs to David. Okay? You can't have what belongs to anybody in my household, folks. Okay? And I've had so much theft that I'm going to put my foot down. Okay? No, I don't like it when people attack me. Okay? And I've been attacked my whole life. Okay? So what you're witnessing right now in the world is just a manifestation of the rotten fruits, knowing that they don't have a lot of time left, folks. Okay? That's what it is. You know? No, I'm not going to be playing save-a-hole. Okay? Each man has one woman. He has his commie share. One woman. That's his rib. Okay? And yes, I do notice that a lot of the people out there, and you know what? People get hitched against God's will all the time, folks. They really do. They get I mean, most of the people out there, I'm not gonna say most, but well, yeah, it's pretty bad now. You know, most people were cool settling down with who God said, hey, this is gonna be your best life. You know, you might want to marry this one. And some people just rebel against that more than others. I'm not happy about it, no, and there's consequences for every time that happens, folks. And the severity of the consequences vary on how much damage was done. You know, if you accidentally get married to the wrong person and you don't have kids, well, consider yourself blessed, because you're not carrying around rotten fruit. Okay? Yeah, the children made from and that's the forbidden unions, the ones that I never okayed. Unfortunately, that's so many of them today. That is so many of them today. I don't like it. Okay? Yeah, it's actually a blessing if you get out of a wrong partnership without kids, folks. If you get out of it with kids, oh shit, you just made rotten fruit against yourself. And no, I'm not. Okay, sorry. The only ones that are promised the long life and the good lives are the ones that God permitted with your rib, folks. The rest of them don't live that long, and they don't amount to shit, and they don't do their fair share. They just don't do they don't do what God wants them to do, and they tend to rebel even more than the children from man and his rib pairing. Okay, they rebel much more, and they're a lot more they're a problem, folks. That's how those Nephilims get to be in existence. Yeah, when you don't obey God for when you don't obey your Creator as far as who to you know, be fruitful and multiply with. So, yeah, I mean, I kept telling people, I didn't try, I did. I told people, hey, you know, this is what happens. You don't believe me, what are you gonna